Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Anytime in the video game industry when a product sells at or higher than expected, when it's massively popular, everybody's playing it, streaming it online, watching it online, then you have the studios coming out to celebrate the concrete number of sales: 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 1 million sales in the past 24 hours. All these people are playing it. People are just screaming it from the rafters. Unfortunately, when a game underperforms, we get nothing but silence and speculation and coping and arguing. And when when you have someone like me who really doesn't have a dog in the hunt, I simply ask for, what's your source? Why isn't Sony talking about it? I'm simply curious, and there's reasons for that. And with Ghost of Yotei right now, people arguing back and forth, go woke, go broke, go woke, or sell astronomically concrete. It's absolutely just fantastically successful with absolutely no evidence from Sony or Sucker Punch. Just pure speculation from whoever on earth Sarkana is. Never heard of them before, but hey, if you know who they are, I should probably look them up, but I really don't care. I just do often wonder, because we've seen this before. I want to get into it. I just want to take a look at the discussion going online. It's official, except that it's not. It's not official. Sony and Sucker Punch have not come out and said anything about the numbers. All we have is pure speculation, but hey, King J, you go ahead. Ghost of Yotei sold great. In Japan, it's flying off the shelves, selling like hotcakes, right? That's what they keep telling us. When all we just curious, what are the numbers? I never thought this game would fail, honestly. The popularity of the Ghost series, Ghost of Tsushima, was astronomically popular to the point where Sucker Punch were made ambassadors to the island. Figured Ghost of Tsushima would follow suit, mostly because the normies out there, the general populace, doesn't pay attention to the nonsense that we go back and forth online and call each other retards over. Goes to show that they have little to no influence on what goes on in the real world. Wait a second, I thought we destroyed our rhetoric was out there polluting the waters and destroying one franchise after another, because we just go on these big, nasty little hate campaigns against a studio or a video game for clicks and grifting because we just don't like to play video games. Which one is it, King? Now, what is your source? This guy, Matt Piscatella, of who? Sarkana, whatever on earth this is, says, with 1 week in the market, the U.S. sales performance of Ghost of Yotei was basically flat to that of Ghost of Tsushima. It did great. Trust me, bro. Why hasn't Sony or Sucker Punch come out and said, that's my only question? He could be right. Matt Piscatella, he could be 100% correct. Sky's the limit. All kinds of profits coming in for Sucker Punch Studios. I just have the question, why aren't they talking about it? It's a simple question. Shows up as top 4. What is this? Top 20 best-selling games, physical and full digital, yada, yada, yada. It's number 4 on one list and number 2 on another list. Somebody decided to make the dig. The only Sony game on the top 10. But what's Helldivers right there for? Even more. Oh, this is the top. This is the number 2 there, right there. Colin Moriarty came out. I'm happy for Sucker Punch. Sure we are. We want the studios to succeed, that make the fun little ones and zeros on the screen for us to play and have fun, our little escapism. We want them to succeed. But again, is a certified commercial hit. Trust me, bro. What's your source? Where are these numbers coming from? Why haven't Sucker Punch and Sony made an official statement? They love to gloat, to share all that information. One studio after another, when the game is truly successful, when it performs the way they want it to, they cannot shut up. It's out all over the place. Such and such game sold 2 million copies. It sold 3 million copies, 4 million, and so on and so forth. But for some reason, again, Sony and Sucker Punch are rather tight-lipped on this. Huge step up from Tsushima. And my understanding, I have a normie friend that's playing this game and he's absolutely loving it. So if you're enjoying the game, cool. Why are you arguing with people online? Don't let the negative discourse get under your skin. Noir over here is talking about Ghost of Yotei sales being down 40% compared to Tsushima. Where's his evidence? More evidence that boycotts work. Was anyone really boycotting? Was anyone actually calling for a boycott? I mean, a genuine boycott. Because the last time I've heard that happen was when people got their undies in a twist, their panties in a twist over Hogwarts Legacy because my J.K. Rowling, calling for a boycott. If you ever watch anything on my channel, I'll just tell you my opinion. You go use your money, vote with your wallet, play what you want. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to talk about what's going on. If you make your decision after that. Other thing, and this is where I find it most interesting. How vocal and specific PlayStation used to be about the sales. 2.4 million copies globally. Source, PlayStation revealed on a tweet. But they're very tight-lipped on this one. Now, why does any of this matter? Why do we keep asking the questions? How many units have sold? How, if the game is so successful, as if the game is so popular, just knocking it out the park, knocking it out the park. If that is the case, selling like hotcakes in Japan, but they're not talking about it. What other games have not talked about that were just so successful? I believe Dragon Age: The Veilguard was rather similar. Everybody was talking how fantastic and wonderful and diversity, equity, and inclusion of a game it was. But they never gave us the sales numbers. And we were just asking, what else did that? Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows, same situation. One game after another. Avowed did the same thing. And one other game, Star Wars Outlaws, that now is facing layoffs. Star Wars Outlaws Studio hit with layoffs. And Ubisoft trying to call it a voluntary career transition. Wow, I've heard Ubisoft doing some vile, putrid shit, but that takes the cake. When you have studios, and you have video games and products that come out that are supposed to be successful, and yet nobody wants to give out the sales numbers. Not too long afterwards, you hear about layoffs of one studio or another. I do wonder, can the same thing happen to Sucker Punch? Is Sony going to shut the door because the sales just weren't there? They weren't high enough, no matter how popular people want to say the game is and how astronomical the sales are. 1.3 million, 1.2, 2.5, 3.148765. 309. Did I really just do that subconsciously? 8675309. Anyway. And yet, 6 months to a year down the line, we find out that the studio shut down. If the game is such a hit, why did the studio shut down? Is this a concern for Sucker Punch? I don't think so, honestly. I think the sales are genuinely just fine, but I'm just curious, because what kind of effect are the sales, or the lack of sales, going to have on the possibility of DLC? Wait and see if there's room to improve it, or to bring in new elements to life and clarity for the narrative's sake. If they do a third game in the series, what are they going to do with the main protagonist? I'd be willing to bet. Can you imagine? Oh, the uproar. I'm going to end this video with this speculation because, well, if Sucker Punch decides that the sales of Ghost of Yotei were good enough to make a third game in the Ghost series, let's make it a trilogy. Ghost of Tsushima followed Jin Sakai. God, I hope I got that right. Ghost of Yotei. Well, it's 200 years in the future. We have to have a different protagonist, and we choose a dumpy, frumpy looking female. What do you think would happen? And they gave excuses for it because it was 200 years in the future. Jin's story was complete. Just imagine they do a third game in the Ghost series and they keep her as the main protagonist. The uproar from the internet would be chef's kiss. You make excuses from one game, from 1 to 2, but then you use the same character, the same lovely individual and voice actress for the third game as you do in the second. That would say more than any other statement could possibly say. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What's going to happen to the studio? Why haven't they released the numbers? I am just curious. Again, like I said, I have no doubt the game did just fine. Made a profit for the studio. Perhaps they're quite happy, but I am still curious. Why haven't they shared the numbers? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a all the little things that YouTube begging you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one.